Nah, I'm just gonna bring you guys into like what I'm thinking about, what I'm working on, what I'm building here internally. I'm like, they're gonna find this way more interesting. So we're in week 2 of 4, juggling multiple clients. This is having and managing multiple clients. This is marketing to and onboarding multiple clients. So whatever end you're on, this will apply to you. And we're focused on converting your current limitations and stress into irresistible opportunity. How fun of a conversation is this? This is one of my favorite conversations to have. And I'm assuming if you're here, you have an operating business. And if you have an operating business, I know something about you. I know that you have problems and you have challenges and you have constraints and limitations and stress points because the only perfect business is the one that's closed, as our one of our business coaches told us years ago. So it's not about being perfect. However, it is about leverage. And so let's get into the problem with some of this, though. The limitations that we're currently facing, like actually think of these right now. Think of your limitations right now. What would it look like if you had more time? You weren't limited by time. What would you do if you had more money? Who would you hire? What systems would you purchase? What services would you purchase? If you didn't have those limitations, what would you do? Maybe you're buried in tasks. There's just so you feel like there's way more to do than there's time and money resources to actually do it. You're buried in the to-do list. Just you got the white flag waving help, right? So I just want to encourage everyone to remember that everyone has a starting point. Even the greats have a starting point, right? Like the Jeff Bezos or whatever other entrepreneur that you like or follow. I think Hermosi, at least I've heard him articulate this. And here's just a quick little insight of where we're continuing to head today. At the start, you talk about and you leverage your business different than when you leverage your business further along. What do I mean? Well, watch this. Let's say you're just starting out and you're competing against the big businesses. When you're talking to a prospect, what would that sound like if you're leveraging your current position? Well, sure, they're bigger than us, stronger than us, smarter than us, faster than us, and you're going to have a way better experience with them. So, how do we compete? Well, watch this. It's like, well, I suppose, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, you could go with them, but do you really want to be just another number? See, at our firm, at our agency, we're able to personally connect with you and create custom services and processes that fit exactly what you need right here, right now. And we can do it in half the amount of time because we don't have all the department confusion. You get to leverage where you're at as a plus, as a positive. And then guess what those same people do? When their businesses grow and now they're the big business, and they're competing against other people in the market and they have a target on their back, everyone's coming for them. Guess how the same person that said the words I just shared, you know what they say now? They say this. They say something like, oh, well, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, I appreciate you taking the time to look into us. I suppose you could go with some of the smaller competitors, but do you really want to trust your business with some guy in his grandma's basement trying to just figure it out and gambling on your business? Or are you ready for, level up? We've done this over 1,000 times. Here's the result. Here's how much time it takes. And this is what it's going to feel like after the next week of just working with us. They're both drastically different positions, but when you leverage and communicate well what you have, you're able to grow with where you're at. And that starting point that you're looking at right now is wherever you're at in your journey. And we're gonna talk about leveraging where you're at today and how you can take your next steps forward. Fair? So the question of, we'll call them the greats, they're really good at asking this question often, and it's how do I leverage what I have? So here's the promise. I'm going to share a new perspective. In other words, you may have looked at your business, say you're looking at your business and there's the areas that are limiting, stressful, painful. It's looking a little black and white. Anger is there, maybe some frustrations there. I'm going to bring a new perspective, hopefully things that you've heard before. Maybe you've never heard this before, but either way, it's going to feel like that fresh new perspective that brings color to what wasn't there before. Your offer in your business will go from feeling common to prospects to coveted. Your offer and your business, this is so much more fun to sell and market this way, by the way, will go from you scavenging for just any type of value and leads, where are all the quality leads out there, to sacred, where your people are lining out the door waiting for your product and service to be released. In fact, they pre-order, they pre-sell. Your sales process can actually switch from like hunting every day to just tapping into the well, your waiting list, and you can just draw as many clients as you need. Do you guys feel that shift that I'm attempting to articulate anyway? This is something that we've been thinking about and processing here at FlowChat. How do we position FlowChat in the market? And I'll share some more examples in just a bit, but I want you to really understand emotionally, how is your business and product and service being positioned in the marketplace? All right. So this is where we start with this. It's leveraging supply and demand. You guys have heard this before, supply and demand. So look at this. You can type in the chat. I'd be curious to hear what you say. And it's a genuine question. This is a fun conversation. Go all different types of directions. I'm curious to see where you go. What's more valuable, water or a diamond? Just share a couple thoughts. Sean's like, water. Nice. We got my water. Everyone's going water. I like it. Water's more valuable. Why? Well, because if without water, we can't live. So there's a lot of value to it. But why is it that water is free and diamonds are way expensive? So from a market standpoint, diamonds are more valuable because you have to pay for them. That certainly means that they're more valuable, right? So I know you guys understand that everyone, here and hopefully listening, watching, really deeply understand supply and demand well, but water is free or very inexpensive because it's high supply. And there's low demand because there's so much of it. Oh, I can get it in the fridge. I can go down the street. Right? And it's everywhere. Well, high demand and low supply creates urgency, scarcity, rarity. So it's interesting that even I know these basics and have for a while, but yet sometimes I feel frustrated when lead gen or growth of business isn't going the way that I want it to. Yet I'm positioning my offer in high supply and in low demand like water. This is where it starts to unlock. How do I make my offer fun and free? And in other words, I love the watermelon helmet. How cool is that? Anyway, so it's like you have how do we position our offers as high demand and low supply? The reality is all of us would be defined as small or medium-sized businesses. Maybe we're doing 6 or 7 figures a year. Maybe we're doing 8 figures a year in sales. By definition of the market, we're still a small or mid-sized company, right? So the reality is most of us are not going to onboard 500 new clients this month, high-ticket clients this month, right? Onboarding delivery would be a nightmare. The people, the systems, it would break what we're doing. So what does that mean? It inherently means that we are already in low supply. Why aren't we leveraging that and communicating that to the market? So here's where we start going from common to coveted. All right. Some of these elements we need to have are FOMO, fear of missing out. When the new iPhone is released, and as we saw earlier, and people are waiting outside of the door, they're afraid they're not going to get one, which is absurd to me. It's not logical. You can just order one and they can send it to you. You can never wait in line. You can feel that I hate waiting in lines, right? Just if you ever see me outside in a line in Apple, just know something's drastically wrong. Call 911, have them take me to the hospital. My brain has been compromised. Anyway, despite my personal feelings, FOMO, it's not logical. It's very emotional. People have this fear, so they just want to get the thing. This is a good element. Excitement needs to be a part of the ingredients. Exclusivity. Not everyone gets it right away or gets it first. Anticipation. Oh, I wonder what it's going to be like. Is it going to be so cool? You know what I think about with this is I think about everyone pre-ordering Teslas. Did anyone here pre-order a Tesla? Is Lincoln, you can unmute. You which one? I'm just curious. What model? What'd you get? Thought about it, Sean.
Dogging me about it. I'm trying to get a Cybertruck.
Oh, I just before jumping on here, I was looking at those pictures. That was the one I was going to use for the example. I love that you actually. So you're on the list right now.
Yep.
And can we talk about the anticipation for a second, Lincoln? What's like? How do you view it? What do you feel right now?
Well, I like it. I'm excited about the idea of I like the fact that the range on it is good. I'm looking forward to having that party because now I drive a truck now too, and it gets dinged up and scratched up, and it's seen that I won't have that worry with the Cybertruck.
because of how it's made. So the anticipation of how the standard of your living, the status of your living will increase. Headaches of dings isn't going to be there anymore. There's all this anticipation, and you just have to sit in it. You guys know those moments before you go on a roller coaster? Almost sometimes that you're like, is like, no, if I'm saying your name correctly, you're like, no, I'm not even going to touch the roller coaster. But it's like you sit in the seat and you hear the chatter around you and clack, clack. The belt is going down in front of you, and you just see of course they start with the drop, right? In the roller coaster. It's the anticipation of the ride. These are emotional elements. And the question are they a part of your business or offer? Chris, we're talking about business, a systematic way of delivering a product or service. The ones that are fun and are emotional are X, 1,000x more interesting and polarizing and draw people in. And so these are powerful elements to tap into. The question is how, and the answer is right here. It's one of them is the wait list. It's the wait list. Who here already has a wait list, or can anyone just buy your stuff whenever they want? So this is something that I've been thinking about. I was like, now there's certain parts. Now, are you gonna see FlowChat shift? Like, I want to demo Chris, or I want to buy the thing, and like no one can buy. I don't know. We're software, so your model might be a little different than yours, right? But this model has been, but we can create other offers and other memberships that we can't fulfill on in the thousands, right? We could have 1,000 monthly basic memberships or plans right now. We have onboarding systems. We're ready to go. We can handle that volume. But if we brought on 1,000 new white label clients in the next hour or day or 2 days, we'd be like, oh man, we gotta make some changes. We're not ready. So that's our low supply. So the question is, where is your low supply? And let's infuse it with a wait list, with an exclusivity, anticipation, and FOMO. You guys with me on this? Check this out. I'm gonna stop these slides. I want to show you, I'm going to take you kind of behind the scenes. You want to see how we've been processing this and applying it in FlowChat. So be thinking about your business. Where does this fit in your business? Just thinking about these ideas should increase the excitement just within your offer. If things feel stale and flat, this is an exercise that will bring some energy to it and some clarity. So here's what I did. This is where some of this started. I was watching YouTube. I was listening to YouTube, to be accurate, while I was in the gym Saturday morning. And I came across this interview. You can watch it if you'd like, take a screenshot. It's a new way to get clients on demand. And Chris Do, if you're not familiar with him, he's very talented entrepreneur, a fan of his content. If he ever watches this for some reason, Chris, from one Chris to another, you're awesome. And he was interviewing this guy named Dan Priestley. And Dan, he is the author of Key Person of Influence. Has anyone ever read this book? Get it immediately. Finish reading it, listening to it before the end of the month. If you care about positioning, framework, and it's very personal brand oriented, but you can easily apply these principles to your product or service and how they're positioned in the market. He is an excellent and expert communicator. He's helped over 4,000 businesses. He used his own strategies to market and sell Keepers of Influence, doing over $20 million worth of sales in a short period of time. He is a master. So I've been hacking not what just he's saying, but I'm watching all of his pages. I'm watching his video and transcribing it. I'm looking at all of his copy and the funnels and the steps he has me go through. I'm like, oh my gosh, he makes this so clear, so simple, so compelling. It's very good. Okay. I'm sharing all this with you because I was looking through this supply and demand filter and perspective, and I was thinking about wait lists. I've heard this before, I'm aware of it, but he's an example that is just executing it very well. And I'm going to share a tool with you in just a little bit. Helps you leverage AI and apply this in seconds. And Dan actually, together. So, okay, I'm going through here, and he has a quiz. Now, when someone's signing up for a wait list, you can say, hey, apply here to see if you qualify for us to work with you. What are you doing? Immediately, you're just immediately shifted from water to being a diamond. Not everyone gets me. You just took it away. Does it feel good to beg, to follow up 3, 4, 7 times and fight for a sale? That sucks. Sean and I have been talking about this. How people are on the fence. Why are they not saying yes? So I've been processing this, and I'm like, okay, I don't even want to play that game. I've already lost if I have to fall. How do I get people coming? How do you go from common to coveted? How do we get people coming to us? just fighting and striving to get for sale. I just recently applied to this entrepreneur community, and only 1 to 3% get accepted. They started pre-framing me. They made me apply. It was a process of a couple months just to even get in. And there was a 3-step process. And then they interviewed me. It was like this whole thing. And I'm like, am I going to get in? Am I not going to get in? Like, oh, who else is in there? I'm just sitting back in anticipation, excitement, and FOMO. You guys with me on this? I'm spending a lot of time on the emotional frameworks, because if you can feel and anchor that, you can create that same experience for your customers. And guess what? It is created and it is designed. But Chris, like, you get water anywhere, but there's certain water that's high quality and positioned differently. And there's some that you drink out of your hose every day. Well, why not? Because why would I drink out of a hose when I have a better option? Does this make sense? So number one, you can write this down. Number one, your prospects need to know you exist. If they don't know you exist, they can't buy from you. And number two, they need to know you exist, and they need to know why you. And when you start your USP, unique selling proposition, when you get to separate yourself from everyone else, and then they don't get access to you unless, that's a lot of times in markets that are the most saturated, it works the best because no one talks that way. No one treats them that way. They're always giving them what? Discount. They're always like, let me earn your business. I'll do this. I'll do more. I'll just build it for you. It's kind of a desperate, needy vibe. And we're just going to put that over to the side. And we're going to switch into this here. Well, we won't take this very seriously. Here's our onboarding process. Here's the result that we get for somebody. We do it in half the amount of time than anyone else in the market because we only work with this exact type of person. Oh my God, that happens to be me. Okay, as we look, can you guys see the screen still? So as we apply this, we see that he's doing this very thing. He's saying this step one video is saying, here's who this is not for. And here's why it benefits you and how you apply the wait list or the scorecard analysis, right? So apply here and see if we're a good fit to work together, right? So this can, social media with FlowChat, how does this apply? When you're chatting with somebody, people are just going right for the book call. That's totally fine. You can book a call and have the qualifying questions during booking the call. You could do that. You could say, ask them a couple questions and they could say, oh my gosh, we have a exact program like this that solves your need, but we only take on clients a month and we only have 2 spots left. Or if you're towards, the end of the month, it could sound like, well, we only take on 5 clients a month and we're already booked for this month, but you can use this link to apply and maybe you can qualify for next month. Oh, but Chris, what if they're ready to buy? What is your average buying cycle? Is it 24 hours or is it 2 weeks anyway? So it might be something to consider where you might not be really giving up as much as you think. A part of this process is letting go and not being, fearful and giving people space to covet, to desire, to anticipate working with you. And we've got to kind of have to give them room to actually want to do that. So one thing mentally that can help us do that is, hey, people usually take 2 to 3 weeks to close anyway. Let me just say, hey, we can talk about this next week. We're full right now. Oh, they're in demand. Okay, cool. This kind of checks out. Hey, but here's what you can do in the meantime. Apply. Now you're seeing how many clients do they have? What are their real pain points? And you can dial in I'm going to share some questions with you in a second here. You can dial in exactly who your ideal person is before you guys even have a conversation. And check this out. While they're waiting, talk with you next week, a week later, you follow up with them and you ask them more qualifying questions. You're just nurturing them to the point of where they have card in hand ready to buy as soon as you let them. Does this make sense? There's way less sales friction. There's way less marketing effort. It's so cool when this is done well. This guy's a master at it. You can see the next steps. I'm going to share his tool with you in just a second, but let me share with you this. What does this actually look like? Well, first, this looks like having some type of, page. It's like the bottom of one of our pages. It has like all, actually, do I actually have, don't on this one. Oh, wait, zoom out. Whoa, check this out. You can tell my brain's been working over here. So it's like we crafted a new landing page specifically for white label. And then we're at the bottom here where it's, buy book. And I'm like, we keep it available for people, but like, what if we didn't? Because what if we said, hey, custom building an entire software company for you? Does that feel common? No way. Developer software, we're easily way over seven figures of, approaching, 7 figures in development cost over the last few years. No, it's not cheap. We're doing that and a custom Chrome extension for somebody, moving this from common to coveted. We could say, oh, we'll apply here, and maybe we only, produce 5, maybe 10, I don't know what the number is, 5, 10 new white label software companies for you per month. Apply, act out, 2 months, apply now to see if you can get in, right? So this is me applying it to FlowChat, but hopefully you're hearing this through the lens of your business. And then it could go to something like, oh, welcome to White Label. White Label is FlowChat's most premium plan, customized to your needs, right? High demand. This plan is for high growth agencies and service providers only. So, it's only the best. Please answer a few short questions to see if you qualify for the White Label plan. You know what's great about this? You can do this at scale. You could have 1,000 people apply. Then you can just go cherry pick the top, not even 1%, the top 0.5%. That'd be cool, huh? This is the well that we get to build. You can market this so hard where you're speaking, podcasts, social content, and not have to worry about delivery, or you do marketing, then you stop, talking about workload and balance, where you're constantly being pulled in different directions. When you have compartments that are systematized, you're able to streamline workflow and not have to do the start stop all the time. And your mental emotional capacity gets cut in up, like doubles, right? And you have more productivity and workflow. It's a great feeling. And so we hit start now. Here's a couple of questions, right? First name, email, those are common. And other ones that are relevant to our product or service would be, what is your average monthly revenue over the last 3 months? Oh, I have free revenue, disqualified, designed for white label, right? But they go through and it's like, well, how many clients do you currently have? Oh, I have, 200 clients. We're already doing white label, say with like High Level or another piece of tech. Roughly how many followers you have a big following. Okay, cool. Your lead list is kind of there on social. We can go import those people and retarget them very quickly. We can start asking strategic questions that let us know how fast and how effective we can be in serving this agency. And then you can do more conditions than 2, but just for simplicity, if they qualify, here's the next video and next steps. Hey, we'll respond to you within 3 to 5 business days. Here's some more resources in the meantime. And if they don't qualify, thanks so much for applying. We can send them away, or more importantly, we can continue to nurture them or provide for them maybe some free playbooks so they can get more value and build up to the point to where, hey, we could give them a scorecard. Hey, your score was about 30% ready, say 30% ready. Here's what the 70% that you're missing are these criteria. Here's some resources to go do this and accomplish this and come back to us once that's done. We can coach and train somebody at scale how to be a perfect client for us so that they pay us more money and get better results for them and their family and their business. You guys with me on this? Waitlist is pretty cool, huh? Here's the last part. You go to scoreapp.com. And was it you earlier that we were talking to, or somebody we were chatting with earlier that, oh no, it was, never mind, it was somebody else on the last trading call. These Zoom calls blend together a little bit after a while. But if you haven't heard of the scoreapp.com, there is a free account. I'm still on the free version. You can watch the demo. What is this tool? Why does it matter? Actually here, here's the link, make it easy. And I think I'm still on the free plan, give you something, I think, that link, those like shings, like they try to incentivize me to like send more people. Obviously this isn't our plan, but that just benefits you if you use it. Okay. Sets up a landing page. It uses AI to generate questions. It uses AI to write, I believe, even emails for you. Go through this whole flow, which is really cool. So I figured it'd accelerate the process and just kind of do live real time. If you use AI Setup Wizard, which I'd recommend starting with, and then once you see it, you can go back and use a template. Click this, we can just set one up right here to get, it literally takes like 5 minutes. It works. So let's say we want to generate new leads and we want to have, say, a single outcome, right? We could say an overall score. This is the result of the assessment that you provide or the questions you ask while they're up to be on your wait list. Let's do single outcome for now. How would you describe your business? Ooh, maybe just let me populate. Yeah, it's like listen for speed. So, hey, we're flowchat.com, B2B sales. How would you best describe your target audience? We'll say small businesses. Hit next. These answers, AI is building on top of it. So say we want to streamline management. This is how we help improve our clients. So we hit next. You can see that they provide some answers. You can write something else if you'd like to get it more dialed in. And now it's presenting like an outcome, a scorecard, or hey, thanks for applying for this assessment or applying for our wait list. Here's some feedback on where you're at, right? Magnetizer quiz. I don't know, that's kind of cool. Sales Pro identifier. I'd probably, if I was looking at this, I would, well, here, let's get more suggestions. Oh, that's cool. Lead generation guru quiz. I don't know, it sounds funny. Let's just do that one. We'll hit next. Okay, you can dial these in, and then it provides the choose what you'd like the possible outcomes to be. Okay, so this is kind of cool. The innovator could be the person that's actually an ideal client. The analyzer might be like you got some things to work on. You can create your categories or buckets on the answers that they provide. Is that clear? Just for, okay. For simplicity, I'm just going to add them and we'll hit next. So you'd put those in there so the outcomes are determined, and then it starts generating questions for you. In this case, you can just, some of these, do you enjoy experimenting with new lead generation strategies? If someone's like, no, I got lead gen covered, and that's what you help people do, they'd be disqualified. It's a great question to ask. Are you open to trying out innovative sales techniques? If someone's not open or in that place in their journey, they're not a good fit. It's gonna be a great question. By the way, you can edit to get more suggestions. They recommend having, these 3 to 5, more than like 50 questions. We'll just put 3 in here for now. Once you get the questions of your wait list, applying for your waiting list or your assessment, then you're done. You'd go to the next step and you're already almost done. Connector category questions. Do you enjoy attending networking events and meeting people? You can get a style of how people like to gather leads for this example. So that's cool. So we can add a few more, and that's cool. Okay, this is for the innovator, for the connector. So you're identifying your avatar, right? And you can ask questions for each of the avatar, each of the outcomes. And then you can say, create my scorecard. Boom. And then it just processes all this for you. It's creating a landing page. It's creating copy. It's creating, so it's like, hey, AI has written 619 words and it saved you 4.5 hours. Pretty fast, huh? We'll probably end up using some of these frameworks and just applying it to our CRM and our forms in our world. But this is like a fast way to like think through and actually build something and get a rough draft and see how much you like it or you don't like it. Does that make sense? So if we go to the dashboard now, we can just hit publish. This one will, be okay because I just printed through it, but unlock your lead generation potential. Take the guru quiz. We can say, hey, take scorecard, and then you start entering your information. Then you'd be brought to the questions, and the questions look like a really fresh, clean, type form type great. And then you can always, landing page. I think it's like over here in build. You can go to your landing page, your questions. You can change and edit all the things. Look and feel like this is how it's presented. Clean and simple without adding anything. You can pop your logo in here, or change the color of these buttons. You can get as crazy or as much as you'd like. So I wanted to provide for you as we wrap up. Talked about going from your business and offer, going from common in the marketplace to coveted. Rather than you chasing, it's having people come after you. And the way that's accomplished is through having a wait list, basically taking it away, leveraging FOMO, anticipation, exclusivity, excitement. And then we talked about an example of how this can actually look like for your offer. If for client work and you're only bringing on 5, 10, 15 new clients a week or a month, hey, they go from being able to, call or buy or learn more to, well, you can apply and let you know because you're sought after, your demand is high. We'll get back to you, we'll let you know, right? So that's the psychological shift. Here's some practical ways of how you can execute on it and tools that you can use for free that help you generate this outcome and result in 5, maybe 10 minutes. So that's what I had prepared for you guys, and excited to see what y'all come up with.